Why haven't you been using that?
I meant to shoot him. I meant to shoot. Oh, you.
DeadHatz, Yos.
Hey everybody, DeadHatz here, and today we're going to talk about the brand new mid-chapter update for Meet Your Maker, and I'm going to say I'm quite disappointed. As you know, it came with a lot of cosmetics, which is good. You know, cosmetics are always good to help builders, let out their potential for increasing of creativity for the bases and such, and more mods. Some of them are kind of boring, and some of them are pretty neat, along with some very welcome and much needed social outpost changes. However, we do know that this update came with a lot of bugs that was a really bad look for the developers. I mean, the 5 mods, like the Iron Claw self-destruct, is pretty boring in my opinion. We already have enough Iron Claw, or self-destruct. I don't think anyone's really too excited when they see a new self-destruct. As far as the Sentry Beam one though, and the Incinerator and Kennebec ones, I think these are pretty cool. I've seen them used in pretty interesting ways so far. And the Death Pistol one doesn't really, I mean, it makes a little bit of sense, but not too much, because most people are using add-ons to make it stick out longer, and speed doesn't really play too much into it. I don't know. I haven't seen anything too interesting for it, and I don't see why anyone would want it over what's already there. The nerfs to the Plasma Sentinels is a little crazy. I mean, these have already been problem traps, but I feel like they're already in a pretty good spot. The duration was nerfed, the cost has been increased, but I guess it's still kind of broken because the size of the clouds of the Plasma Sentinels have been greatly reduced. I know it's going to feel really good since I'm mostly a Raider based person, but I do think that this might possibly be overkill, but we'll have to see more in play. At this point, I'm not even sure why anyone would still kind of use Sentinel traps in their original usage anyways. Also, there was some nerfs to Ravagers. I'm happy because I don't like them, but I do think it was unnecessary. I think they're in a good spot already. It just kind of feels unnecessary because I personally was having issues with them doesn't mean I think it was unhealthy for the game. I think they were pretty balanced, but they felt they needed to be nerfed. I'm not going to complain too much, but I do think it's a little unfair occasionally for these poor builders that have to deal with that. But the main reason I'm making this and why I feel this update has really let us down is because it just doesn't feel like there's enough. I know it's mid-chapter, and the social outpost stuff is huge and the mods are pretty fine. I just feel like if you were to compare the amount of content that comes with, like, and I'm using this for comparison because it's the same company, a Dead by Daylight mid-chapter release compared to this, it almost feels kind of like a letdown. Not to mention that this released with a lot of bugs. For example, I know a lot of people are unable to open up their bases where they had the rewards for Sector 0, which is affecting me as well. I can't open it. I believe they did just release a patch like an hour ago, but still, this update came out like 4 days ago, so that's a long time for people to be able not have the ability to access their base. So that's a little disappointing. At least we're getting a Synthite boost weekend, but I just think this really kills a lot of confidence people had for the dev team and the state of the game in the future. For example, if you go on the Twitter or Reddit, there's people saying that they're going to quit the game, which I think is a little overkill because, one, it's just some bugs that it's not like they were going to leave unfixed anyways. But the fact that it is causing some people to have that sentiment is not the best look. But that's all I really have to say for now. Hopefully the next mid-chapter after this new chapter, which looks sick by the way, isn't as rough as this one was, and maybe a little bit more stuff in the meantime. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Bye. Bleh.
Subscribe to DeadHatz or you'll die tomorrow.